Hello, welcome to Simple Spanish Sentences. This is the 11th video in a playlist on Spanish verb tenses and moods. In it, I'm going to share some sentences that show how to conjugate regular Spanish verbs in the imperfect tense that end in AR, ER, and IR. The sentences that I use will be virtually identical with the ones I used in the previous two videos. And the main purpose here is to help you see the similarities as well as the differences between how these verbs are conjugated. There are a few different uses of the imperfect tense, and in this video, I'll use it to describe events in the past that happened continuously as a part of one's routine or habitually over time. This is often translated as used to in the sense that one used to do something routinely in the past, as opposed to doing something at a specific time in the past. The three verbs I'm going to use to compare how the imperfect tense is conjugated are to study, which is estudiar, to sell, which is vender, and to live, which is vivir. Conjugating regular AR, ER, and IR verbs in the imperfect tense involves two steps. First, we remove AR, ER, or IR from the end of the verb. And second, we add the appropriate ending to AR and ER or IR verbs respectively. These endings are illustrated in the following chart. Note that the I form and the he, she, and you form are conjugated the same way. And the sentences that follow will offer specific examples to show how these conjugations are done. I in Spanish is yo. And to conjugate this, we drop the endings, and for estudiar, we add A, B, A. And for vender and vivir, we add I with an accent, A. So estudiar becomes estudiaba, vender becomes vendia, and vivir becomes vivia. Because this is conjugated the same way as the he, she, and you form of the verb, I'll include pronouns in these sentences to emphasize who's doing the action. I used to study Spanish is yo estudiaba español. I used to sell food is yo vendía comida. And I used to live in Mexico is yo vivía en México. You in Spanish when speaking to one person informally is tú. And to conjugate this, we drop the endings, and for estudiar, we add A, B, A, S. And for vender and vivir, we add I with an accent, A, S. So estudiar becomes estudiabas, vender becomes vendías, and vivir becomes vivías. You used to study biology is estudiabas biología. You used to sell cars is vendías carros. And you used to live in Argentina is vivías en Argentina. He in Spanish is él, she is ella, and you when talking to one person formally is usted. To conjugate these forms, we drop the endings, and for estudiar, we add A, B, A. And for vender and vivir, we add I with an accent, A. So estudiar becomes estudiaba, vender becomes vendía, and vivir becomes vivía. He or she used to study with Pablo is él or ella estudiaba con Pablo. Pedro used to sell with Pablo is Pedro vendía con Pablo. And you used to live with Isabel is usted vivía con Isabel. We in Spanish is nosotros or nosotras, and to conjugate this, we drop the endings, and for estudiar, we add A with an accent, B-A-M-O-S, and for vender and vivir, we add I with an accent, A-M-O-S. So estudiar becomes estudiábamos, vender becomes vendíamos, and vivir becomes vivíamos. We used to study with Pablo is estudiábamos con Pablo. Pedro and I used to sell with Pablo is Pedro y yo vendíamos con Pablo. And Maria and I used to live with Isabel is Maria y yo vivíamos con Isabel. You in Spanish when speaking to multiple people informally and in Spain is vosotros or vosotras. And to conjugate this, we drop the endings, and for estudiar, we add A, B, A, I, S. And for vender and vivir, we add I with an accent, A, I, S. So estudiar becomes estudiabais, vender becomes vendíais, and vivir becomes vivíais. You used to study Spanish with Pablo is estudiabais español con Pablo. You used to sell food with Pablo is vendíais comida con Pablo. And you and Maria used to live in Mexico with Isabel is tú y María vivíais en México con Isabel. They in Spanish is ellos or ellas, and you when talking to multiple people is ustedes. To conjugate these forms, we drop the endings, and for estudiar, we add A, B, A, N. And for vender and vivir, we add I with an accent, A, N. So estudiar becomes estudiaban, vender becomes vendían, and vivir becomes vivían. They used to study biology with Pablo is ellos or ellas estudiaban biología con Pablo. Pedro and Juan used to sell cars with Pablo is Pedro y Juan vendían carros con Pablo. And you and Maria used to live in Argentina with Isabel is tú y María vivían en Argentina con Isabel. And finally, to review these conjugations, for yo it's estudiaba, vendía, and vivía. For tú it's estudiabas, vendías, and vivías. For él, ella, and usted, it's estudiaba, vendía, and vivía. For nosotros or nosotras, it's estudiábamos, vendíamos, and vivíamos. For vosotros or vosotras, it's estudiabais, vendíais, and vivíais. And for ellos, ellas, and ustedes, it's estudiaban, vendían, and vivían. That's all for this video. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you did and would like to support this channel, you can do that in a number of ways. Also, if you noticed any mistakes, feel free to let me know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, and take care.